No. So you want to know about this? Learning recipes wants to know. Please, I need an answer.
What's up? I got something I want to talk about, man. I hope I can execute it pretty good.
It is not counted as income.
Hopefully, I can
Not have to pay it back.
execute it like I really want to.
None of that.
Well, it's probably still.
Great question from Katie Love.
Hopefully, I can execute it. All right, here I go. Um, Sometimes the life that I live, like now, the life that I have now. Sometimes I wish that I would have lived my life as far as street life. And you may be saying, "What the hell? What the fuck? What the hell this nigga mean?" When you live your life as streets, look like I'm saying that because it seems like when you do, you could better survive. To me, it's good to live for those of the people who are younger and you living at home and you have a street life at the same time. To me, that's good. In one sense, it could be bad, but in one sense, it's good too. Because what you're doing, you're getting the education on how to survive the streets too. You see what I'm saying? And I really do believe that sometimes you don't have to just go out there and just actually just be a hardcore drug dealer or none of that. I'm not encouraging that at all. If you can abstain from that and just live and just survive the street like that, it's like hell, they know more about my business than I do. You see what I'm saying? That's what you. That's what I'm saying. They know more about my business than I do. Like another thing, man. Sometimes, no, you go if you live around people that actually know you. I'm just gonna say it like that. If you live around people that actually people like that, being a clutch leaner or stuff like that. I'm not that type of person. I'm the type of person I like to do it. Comfortable with trying to learn it and do it myself. Because I'm in a stage in my life. It's like I always had that ego to learn, but it's like I'm more that ego to get out and learn and try to upgrade my life and learn something different. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather get out and learn something like different. Like I want to get off into a lot of other things and learn other things and stuff. You see me doing, the as far as the biblical in the books and stuff like that. I'm pretty okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But I need to I feel like I need to upgrade to something, not change exactly the old what I've been raised up on and what I've been doing, but just upgrade and just graft other things in there and learn other different things and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. And it was on my mind last night. Really was on my heart for a long time, but it was more so on my mind because um, living just know the most important thing that my advice to you is if you living with your parents or whatever, you don't want to uh be like me. I say you don't want when I say like me, you don't want to totally just rely on that and look for that, and then they have to go and blah blah and fight me with that. Now, if I can move up further and take care of some business and stuff, and which that's what I'm working on now, and trying to take care of other businesses and stuff like that. Like as far as I'm sure I never did this before, but that car right there, I'm trying to get to the point where I can just do more with it. You know what I'm saying? Do more with it, and even though it's my family car, you know what I mean? Because I think I do more. I take a lot of pride in blogging and stuff like that. There, but I just need to learn how to expand with the vehicle and stuff. That's what I want to do. And what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to um, just get myself part of other stuff and just becoming more reliable to where I can be my own man, to where I can rely upon myself. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. Rely more and be that man and independent and more independent. I always have been like that. I like to do things myself. My family, my mother, and all of them. Well, my father, he ain't living. You know what I mean. So you know how it goes. But she can tell you, I would do not like to rely and depend upon nobody else. I just don't. No, I do not. That's a no-no. You know what I mean? Unless and I just have to. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's not me just putting my business out there. It's just that I felt like this is something that somebody need to have. I might end up doing another part, a couple more parts to this here, everything. So I just wanted to just come, man, and talk to y'all about that. You know what I mean? Because I know. I guess I want to say this here is no put down or nothing like that. It's like a lot more. I guess most parents is that females raising children versus a male raising children is a whole lot different from my experience, from what I see in the African American community. It's different. A male, in a sense, he'll be like, he talk to his, especially his children different, his sons and stuff. He'll say, boy, get up from that. Get up from that. You ain't all right. Stop all that crying. You a man. Stop all that. Women, they more like, if they chastising you, they're more like, oh, don't do that, baby, like that. They'll pick them up and be trying to, boy, get up from that. They'll say, get your ass up. Something like that. Stop all that crying. Especially to his boys and stuff like that, because men most of them, the average one, they tend to raise their kids like that. It's a different way a man raising your child. And if that boy is around that young man is around that his whole life, then for the most part, it's going to make that child be more emotional and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to stuff like that, getting into that, it's more like a double standard when it comes to versus the male versus the female in the African American community. And you see it a lot. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have people, they'll say, well, my mama did this and my mama took care of me, my mama did, and stuff like that. They don't never, like, even the whatever, they don't never, that most of the time the male is left out of the situation, and the male is not really given no credit more. It's just the female. This is happening in the African American community for the most part. All right, what's going on? How you doing, brother? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is all of these things that mostly happen in the African American community, And I think maybe these things is part of, they probably are part of the curse. You just never know. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go in the other communities, Asian community, the Caucasian community, if you go into the East Indian man community and Vietnamese and Japanese and Chinese and Philippines and all those people communities and all those people in other parts of the world, and you see Germany, France, and if you go into their community, the Germans community, you don't see stuff like this. You don't see single parent households. You don't see irresponsibility of of males, of French and Spain males and stuff like that. Because see, in the Spain, it's totally different from the African American community. It is. The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. It's like it's a dysfunction. Our boys and as far as starting with myself, does not know how to do other certain things and stuff like that, because you have the single parent household is handicapping the sons, especially, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying things like, well, I'm worried about my baby, he's out there on the streets and all that kind of stuff, and going off into this, because it's all tying into one. You see what I'm saying? They saying things like that, like, oh, my baby and stuff. And see, most of these things are in the African American community, to where the female version especially in the African American, we have the absent fathers, to where you have the African American. Now, a lot of them ain't gonna like when I say this, but it's true. You see what I'm saying? Is that I'm gonna say the African American mothers, in my opinion, it's like they raise their kids, but it's like they ruining their kids and spoiling their kids at the same time, to where it's got them to where I can, You know what I mean? Like it's ruining the African American community. No man with no male figure in the house, because a male, he raises kids differently. You see what I'm saying? But the system is got it to where like it's not really good for a man, especially the males, is to be without a male in the house. It's good to have both of them in the house, because when the African American community, the so-called African American community, is ruining the households. It's causing the males, not because they didn't have a proper role model, is to be irresponsible, not being a man, being lazy, sitting around the house, not doing nothing. And then you got, our African American mother. It's not me putting nobody down. This is just for educational purposes. I'm not putting down on nobody. I'm just saying. It causes them to be like, well, want to put a handicap on their sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, well, he needs somebody to look out for him, and he can't look out for himself, and he can't do this, and he can't do that, and he can't do that. And which they probably mean well when they say that, but at the same time, it's doing damage, because you have to look at it like this here. What you think if something happened to that parent? If something happened to that parent, what do you think that male figure would do? It's happened or whatever. Then boom, he gonna crash, because he don't know what to do, because he never knew what it was like. Is to be responsible and be on his own, and be to himself and all that, and knowing how to just actually just take care of business. This, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So these curses came up on us from the so-called white man. You know what I mean? All this is a stem that it put up on our people. You see what I'm saying? So something just told me is to just come and just talk about this here, because I felt like it's important. It's an issue that needs to be addressed. You see what I'm saying? In the African American community. You know what I mean? Let me tell you a little bit more about myself. And I used to be kind of awkward, kind of weird just talking about it. But I feel like now I'm to an age to where it don't bother me now. I came up to where, and I'm still in the situation now. Well, I don't know, but I'm doing a lot better now than I was, years ago. I'll say. I had a poor education coming up. When I was born, I had they was pulling on me too hard or some kind of way when I was born, and they was pulling me too hard, and it clamped my head too hard, and it damaged my brain to the point to where it caused me to have brain damage, to the point to where I couldn't even, it destroyed my ability to be able to read and write. I couldn't even read and write when I came up. I really couldn't. It destroyed me like that. You see what I'm saying? But I had to learn, and I had to go to family members, and I had to get help what I didn't know. Can you imagine how that feels? Is to walk into a place of business trying to fill out an application, and you got to depend upon your family members who know how to read and write. Is to sit there and feel something out. Can you imagine how I felt dealing with that? And can you imagine how that actually feel to feel handicapped? And that is a miserable damn feeling. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all from experience. That is a miserable ass motherfucking feeling. I'm telling you. And that shit. And then especially when you living at home with your family members and all that, and you got to rely upon somebody else's to do it for you. Can you imagine how they make especially a man? I mean, if it's a woman, maybe they can kind of get away with it because they're a woman, and then of course, we live in a society where if a woman ain't got no job and all this, and if the man is rich, then the man should take the woman in the house. You see what I'm saying? Like, you the man, you got the juice. You need to bring her in your house. You got the juice. You got the slang. You is what's up. But if it's the other way around, if that woman is rich or whatever, if that man is poor and sitting around the house or something like that, daddy will get up and say, "Hey, baby, you got a man." Daddy will let girls stay home with no job and all that. You know what I'm saying? Within homes coming up. And this is, I think, what is destroying the African American community, because it's a double standard when it comes to males versus women. You see what I'm saying? But women, they think differently. They're totally different creatures. Even though we came out their womb, they think different from the way we think. You see them? We in no ways think alike. You see what I'm saying? a man, he like, I was like me. I can speak for me. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you probably left it in your room or something, I think. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was sitting here doing a video. I'm sitting up here doing a video. Oh, well, the video is good. But anyway, I'm just, look, y'all, I want y'all to understand me. This video is for educational purpose. This is not me putting down. This is just me wanting to try to do something to like be a solution and change. Because I'm trying to get myself up out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? And try to upgrade my life. Basically, what I'm trying to do, because I don't want to live. I'm I'm 45. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to live the rest of my days like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like in one stage where you got to depend upon somebody. Can you imagine also when you going uptown or when you going into like me? I never did like the doctors. I never did like. I don't know why. I just don't like. I never liked going to the doctors. I really did. Especially as I gotten old, I definitely didn't like it. Because I felt like they trying to hurt people and kill people like like they doing, man. It is what it is. Uh, Going to the doctor and you can't even like you don't know how to handle your business properly because your that brain to where you're supposed to catch on quicker and have a quicker thinking of I think reading and writing really helps you a lot. But that's something me growing up. I grew up and I did not have that educational skill. I wasn't skilled in that area. You see what I'm saying? So I really feel it made me felt some type of way. You see what I'm saying? And I was too embarrassed as to even tell people what I was dealing with. You see what I'm saying? But now I can do it. I can pretty much I can read. I done gotten better at a lot of things, reading and comprehensions and all of that. I can pretty much, like I said, I still can improve. You see what I'm saying? But in my growing up, and even to this day, you know, I'm in the situation, but I'm still trying. I'm trying to move forward and get out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? And do better. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do like upgrade my life, basically. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to upgrade it and trying to change my recipe and try to move forward and try something different. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. I don't want to just be in the same predicament. Hopefully my story, as I continue to bring you news and information and stuff, hopefully it would help some young child or somebody out there who may be in that situation right now. You see what I'm saying? Because maybe you can learn from my situation and what I went through. You see what I'm saying? Because this is something that I actually wanted to talk about. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't feel comfortable not being a man. You know what I'm saying? Being a real man. You see what I'm saying? Because when you have to rely upon somebody else, to me it just seemed like it's just cowardice and it's like what they call a bitch move or something. You see what I'm saying? When you should be a man and you know what I mean? To where, that's why I say it's nothing wrong with living with your people, your family members, or whoever, your parents or whatever. But just make sure in the process you can do something to you don't want to be in a situation like me. Like especially religion. I think religion definitely had a lot to do with it. It destroyed us too and made us foolish like it did me. Religion has actually made it just didn't do nothing for me at all you did, you just grew up and you went to a building, a church, or so and so, or inside a building, or whatever. And all you did, you just uh, went to church, came home. Then you looking at people like, hey, I need a ride home. Then a lot of the so-called Christianity people, they're not gonna really help you. They're not gonna really do for you at all. They really not. That's how you know it's some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So I removed myself from that. And I think religion had a lot, it plays a big part in my damage. And then I'm pretty sure you may know some friends or some family members that religion played a definite whole big impact and damaged a lot of people, like it's still doing today. Christianity, if I had a choice, that's why, let me go back to my original point. I think I would rather I wish that I could have lived my life as now. When I say this, and a lot of people, it's gonna sound kind of foolish and stupid for me to say this here, but I'm not trying. I'm just saying it. I have my reason for saying it. I think if I would have lived my life, I think I would. If I would have had to just live my life, if I would have wanted, you know how some things be in, it's just not in you to live a certain way. I kind of wished it was in the past. In me is to live a street a street gang life. Why? You know why? Because it teaches you how to handle your business. It teaches you how to to not to depend upon family members. It does. It teaches you not. You don't have to depend upon family members. None of that. Really, you don't. Because you know why? Because what it does, it keeps you going. You know, like you know how you a boy be at home, a son, her son be at home, a boy, a mama's boy be at home, and he be like, if he got that street life, that street, if it's in him, it's to go live the street life and all that kind of stuff. I'm not encouraging people to say, hey, go get on drugs and go do this. And look, I'm not encouraging that. This is just for education purpose. It's, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. If you want to just hang out in the streets or whatever, don't do no drugs, don't do no alcohol, don't do none of that drugs and all that kind of stuff, weed and all that. Don't get into that if you can. Now, I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying, just like survival. Like when you on the streets, the street knowledge, it gives you a educational. It's like an education base because number one, to me, it teaches you how to articulate when it comes to anything. When you're dealing with people out in the streets, you can articulate very well. You can, you know how to handle your business, especially people that have been in the like you know how the young black men they go to for drugs, smoking, drinking, and all that kind of stuff, and then they have to go to court. Then they're in jail. Then they got to wait for a court day and all that. Well, mama got to wait on the court day and all that. When you go into all them places, you pretty much know how to articulate what you need to articulate to them. But if you've never been there before, if you've never been in that situation, you will crash. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know what the fuck to say. You see what I'm saying? So when I say living your life, well, I would encourage the younger generation too as well, younger than me or maybe older than me. If chances are you do not want to just confine your life to living one way. You see what I'm saying? If you got the street, if you got it in you, if you just got it in you to be part of the streets or whatever it is that you're doing, if you can do both, I'm not encouraging you to do the drugs and the alcohol. If you just want to hang out with some people and just sit there and just have a conversation and y'all can have a little social drink or something like that, not getting drunk and all that kind of stuff. If you want to just have a social drink and or whatever and just talk and hang with your boys and stuff like that. But, you know, if you can, try to avoid from getting in the white man's jail or system and stuff like that, if you can. You know what I mean? But I would encourage you to hang out there. You see what I'm saying? Hang out there. Just hang out. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see me. I try to leave. And I try to, hold on, y'all. Hold on, man. Hold on. Don't talk loud. Talking to you don't did what? Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Let me hold on. Look out for a part 2, y'all. I'll be back for the part 2. What can I name this damn video? Shit. Don't rely upon don't rely upon family members. No, don't handicap yourself to relying upon family members. Don't handicap yourself relying upon family members. Let me make sure it's going to take me a minute. I just want to, before